A film, Return to Oz, from 1985, directed by Walter Murch, starring Fairuza Balk as Dorothy, Piper Laurie as Auntie M, um, Nicole Williamson as the Gnome King, and Jean Marsh as the evil witch Mombi. So, let's go back in time. First to 1939 with The Wizard of Oz that most of us know, with Judy Garland, Ray Bolger, etc., etc., etc. In fact, I'll talk about that film sometime in the future. Great film, wonderful film. I will say a film that has very little to do with the books of L. Frank Baum, who wrote all the original Oz books, starting in the early 1900s. So, what this is a much darker, some say creepy, I agree with that in some spots, um, film than The Wizard of Oz, by far. But it is much closer to the actual Baum novels. In fact, I've read a lot of horror over the years, and I would put his novel, The Tin Woodman of Oz, as just as creepy as anything from Poe or H.P. Lovecraft. So in this film, it's supposed to take place about 6 months after The Wizard of Oz. And Auntie M has brought Dorothy to basically like a psychiatric hospital because they think she is um, obsessed with this Oz that they have no clue that it's real. So, while she's there, they're going to give her, in fact, electroshock therapy. Something that, sad to say, that my mother had once in the 50s, I believe. And I think it scarred her for the rest of her life. Anyway, nothing to do with the film. So, there's a power outage there. They never give the thing. Dorothy ends up back in Oz, and Oz is a shambles because of the Gnome King and the evil witch Mombi. And in this, we're brought Billina the chicken, who can talk. Jack Pumpkinhead, a great character. A great character. Um, TikTok is a mechanical man, very important role. Um, and I have to say, Dorothy, played by Fairuza Balk, who was unknown at the time. She does a wonderful job. She really is much closer to, again, the Frank Baum Dorothy. There's a nature to her that just fits. Um, don't go into this expecting the dazzling musical production numbers and glitz and glamour of the 39 one, because it's not that. You will be disappointed if that's all you're looking for. But this is a strong film. It's very well done. The story is very well crafted. It's based on two of the Baum books. I think it's The Road to Oz, perhaps, and Ozma of Oz. So there's a lot to love. It's very well directed by Walter Murch. It's the only film he directed. He's worked on many films. Who's very, he's a very talented man. And Disney took a chance on this. And at one point they were going to fire him. In fact, they did fire him during production. And George Lucas and I believe Francis Ford Coppola, yes, both stood up for him and said that he should be reinstated, and so he was. And in fact, George Lucas even said, if you have a problem with him and it doesn't work out, I will come in and finish whatever he started. So he'd offered to direct if necessary. But Murch finished the job, did it very well. It's kind of like, as the film goes on, maybe you want to say like the restoration of Oz. But it's very much a one of a kind deal. I've never seen another Oz film like it. I've never seen another Oz film as good as it. So I will say to you that for those, and I know this is not a film for everyone, okay? It's not a film for everyone. Let me get that out of the way. Did I say it's not a film for everyone? But it is a great film. And it's in a way a children's film. I think in a way it's the way children look at things that frighten them. I think as an adult it makes sense that the things that are big and scary in the world, that's it. That's that's the way unhappiness and chaos and all of that looks, and a sense of maybe an air of hopelessness, but the film conquers all of that. Dorothy conquers all of that. And that's why I have this on the list. I saw it the first time, and I had already known some of the Baum stuff by them, and I was very impressed, and I still am. And it reminds me that I need to get the Blu-ray of that because it's worth the time. So, from 1985, directed by, is it Walter? Or is it? Well, it is Walter. It's Walter Murch. Sorry, I have notes in case I forget things because I'm old. Return to Oz. Give it a look. Let me know what you think. Love you all. Bye bye. ATM. ATM.